different couple colors in this one. We are going to go back in. Hello everybody. Hey, hopefully your power's on, and you guys can hang with me here on Facebook Live tonight. So again, we're talking about changing perspectives, and that kind of applies across the board for a lot of folks in different situations that they're in, and just change your angle, change your perspective. If you don't like the perspective that you're in and the angle you're in, try something different. Change your perspective. Maybe get up an extra hour early. Maybe not eat some stuff you've been eating or drinking, or try something different. Take a different route to school, route to work. Do something different. It's
every detail tells a story.
It's all about your perspective and how you see things. Change your routine. If you don't like it, fix it. It's your life. I am going to throw in what we got here. I'm going to grab, I did some violet. We're also going to throw in some sapphire metallic. This is Art Deco sapphire. We're going to get some metallic in this sky. Make it shine a little bit, see what happens there. So a couple streaks of it up the top, like that. And then what we used before was this ink spot. This is Folk Art ink spot, not metallic, but it does have that little darker color to it, so we're going to throw that in there as well. And again, what we did before last time with that white, just kind of came in, blasted that. But you know what? I'm just feeling all sorts of sassy tonight with this weather and everything that's out there. We're going to use Deco Arts silver, sterling silver, instead of the white. So we're going to get some silver metallic in there, and kind of nail that up there. Cool, I dig it. Cool. All right. Dry brush. Dry brush. Here we go. You guys can see everything good. So we got some violet, some metallic sapphire mixed in with our blue, our kind of a ink spot indigo, dark blue. Then we have some silver here. We're some white in here. We'll throw a couple spots of white, not a ton. One here, do a little bit more here. All right, cool. Let's get after this. See what this looks like. Again, we want full coverage on this, so we're not leaving any dark or empty spots. Darker towards the top, work our way down towards that horizon line. Now we're starting to pick up some other colors. I just wiped a little of that paint off because it's really thick. I shouldn't have gotten too excited about that. You know what? Actually, we're going to do this. We are changing our perspective, and we are going to do some northern lights in here. Because I want to. I don't know how many of you guys have seen the Northern Lights. It has been a few minutes since I've seen it, but it is super cool. So again, we're gonna a couple drops of white towards this bottom, and I'm gonna throw in just a hint of teal. Just a couple drops of teal, and wiping off my brush because we really want to drag this kind of into the sky. All right, I like that. It looks kind of cool. I wondered if we were to go up and back, if that would change it. Yeah, it does. Okay. Yeah, we're learning on the fly. I like it. What do we think? Does that look like Northern Lights? We're to do kind of some things across the sky here. Cool, let's fill this bottom in. I like it. Paint this bottom piece. We're just kind of experimenting here. This really isn't, you know, what we really had in mind, but I just want to try something different. Changing my perspective, right? All right, we got 60 folks watching us just goofing around with some of this color. Cool, so I like what we're doing here. All right, cool, I like this. Just picking up some black and a little bit of that darker blue color, and we're gonna kind of come in here. Again, you could make this a watercolor kind of thing, like where this shined down on the water, did something there. Now it's too late. We kind of have this black color over top of it, so really can't do that, which is totally fine. I mean, we can do some other stuff too with it. But I'm gonna try something completely different, and hopefully this works out. We are gonna use some black, and we're gonna start making some pine trees here. See what we can come up with. Still have some white left, so let's get our sky going. We did this in the last one. We get some white, and we're just kind of flicking this toothbrush to make these stars. Yeah, don't wear your Sunday best if you're gonna try this. Might get a little funky. Cool, I like it. Let's I'm gonna try something here. This might blow up on me, but we're just gonna try it anyways. But let's put in a faded moon. What do you say? We're just gonna go after it. We're just gonna kind of get all this in here at once. All right, so we're getting some white in here. We're just gonna kind of fade this in here. Now it's turning out purple. That's because we have a base layer underneath there of purple. So we're definitely gonna have to come over this a couple times with white. And it's cool to use a sponge because the moon is definitely not a solid white. It's definitely got some color variations, some bright spots, some low spots, and that's kind of what we're getting here with this. Now we could kind of have a glow out here, and I think that's kind of what we're going to end up with. Just a faded glow. Cool. Now you can obviously go make some swirls. Let's see what that does. Alright, so we're getting more of that purple in there. Not really digging that. But we are getting a glow, so maybe we'll come back over top of that with some white. So pick up some more of that white right in the middle. We're kind of using that same technique we've used with the paintbrush, but using the sponge as a paintbrush. A little different technique, but just kind of fading it. Kind of got like this purple moon, which is kind of neat. It's kind of what we're going to get anyway, so. Alright, so we need a little more white here. Some pure white. It's kind of mixing with that purple and not really super pure, so let's go back in here and just kind of make some texture with it. Because the moon does not look swirly in real life. I think it's a full moon tonight, isn't it? If I'm not mistaken. Kind of ironic that we're going to throw a moon in on this, right? Cool. Alright, a little bit more right here. And then we'll want to speckle a little of that over top of the moon, just so it looks like we didn't do it last. And cool. I like it. Cool. All right, so we did something different. We added a moon in there. Some people use their fingers to do it. We probably could have done it a little bit different. We would have used some glow to it, but hey, you know what? We're throwing it in there just for giggles. All right, let's get to our trees. We are going to do completely different trees than we normally have done. So I have some of this cobalt blue, or excuse me, this midnight blue mixed up with some black, and we're going to kind of come in here with our trees. And I'm going to plot out where those are going to be. Cool. All right. Cool. All right. Let's see what we can do here. It's okay. I mean, you're going to want to use your biggest ones to start with and kind of go over. They'll overlap on some of the other ones. That's okay. Remember, they get wider as they go down. And darker as they go down, so. And some of these trees are going to be background trees. You know, we'll fill in as we go. We're adding, again, I don't know if you can kind of pick up on it on the video, but I'm starting to see it here, is we are using some of that midnight blue as kind of an accent color. We're mixing it in with the black. So you're going to see some of those highlights come through. Again, thicker and darker towards the bottom. These trees are a lot wider, so we're going to add a little bit more towards the bottom here. And they kind of go out, flare out a little more. Cool, I like it. All right, this one. A little bit thicker and darker towards the bottom. Again, I have not done pine trees for you guys yet. Really, it's been, I tried them once before, wasn't super happy with it, but I'm liking these look cool. All right, I like to start down just a little bit because I don't know how that top piece is gonna look quite yet. If if I just throw, you know, black right in there, it can get kind of funky. So, and this will kind of blur a little of the background too, which is kind of neat, gives it a little highlight. You can throw some in there too if you'd like. You get some of that blue color, just kind of come in here. We're going to throw in some white in a second, but we do have some blue left on the plate here that we kind of swiped off of the sky, that we can actually grab and just kind of throw in a little bit of some highlights on some of these outside branches. Remember, we got the moon here, so we're kind of trying to. All right, we're gonna go right here with this one. Again, wider and thicker towards the bottom on some of these trees. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, you never know, some of this blending is going to be rather interesting when you kind of come across some of this this thicker paint, these spots where we swiped up and it had white and some extra colors. You know, you're going to get some neat highlights in there. Kind of like where those are at. How we doing, guys? All right, we still got 30 folks hanging out. You can use the edge of these brushes too, not the flat, you know, middle piece. So I'm just actually dabbing a little bit of black on the edges of the brush, so that it doesn't give us this middle piece that's super wide. Alright, cool. So that tree's a little bit lighter, so we're going to kind of come in with some spots of dark. Just kind of give us, and you can actually pretend like there's a tree back here and just kind of half fill some of this stuff in. Because really, you know, if you're looking at a tree line, it's not going to be solid, and there's going to be some broken stuff, but it's going to be up towards the top, not down here in the middle. That's pretty thick. You know, you look through a forest, you're not going to be able to really kind of see that. So cool. Wider and darker towards the bottom. I mean, it really just depends. There are some pine trees that look pretty scraggly towards the bottom, and their foliage is only on top. Then obviously, if you're doing those specific trees, you're not going to do wider and thicker towards the bottom. But that's just kind of what we're doing here with this night sky piece. We got some changing our perspective. We did a horizontal night sky last time. We're just changing things up and trying things new, whatever resonates with you guys. You know, this might look really neat here when we're done, and I'm already starting to kind of see it come to shape, and I'm liking it. So cool. I like this. This is really cool. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I hope everybody's safe and has their power on. Had some reports of people getting some power outages, and that's no fun. Food goes bad, you can't go to the bathroom. Especially if you got kids, man. That's right when they get hungry and right when they gotta go to the bathroom. Oh, the power's out. Well, guess what? I'm hungry. For you parents out there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's like as soon as you get in the car for a road trip, I gotta go to the bathroom. Yeah, well, got 300 miles before I get a gas station. Just kidding. That would gotta let our kids go to the bathroom. I'm just joking with you guys. Cool. Alright, so we're leaving some of that sky through there. Just a little bit. The tree just looks a little funky, so we're gonna add a little bit. I like it. Cool, so these little treetops are kind of the funky little times. Sometimes you just gotta, sometimes you nail it the first time, and then other times you gotta go back in and kind of mess with it and reorganize it a little bit. But kind of getting there. Once we get this all framed in, we'll kind of go in with some highlights and dab a little white on some of these, just because that's where the tree light was at, or excuse me, the moonlight. And you know, that definitely will add a highlight to the tree branches. Cool, I like this. This is neat. So we do pine trees, or excuse me, we do palm trees one night. We got a oak tree, we got a cherry tree. Now we're doing pine trees. So we are definitely expanding the portfolio with these guys. I appreciate you guys hanging out and you know, giving me comments and feedback, like, hey, try this, you know, like I want to see a butterfly or a dragonfly, or you know, or a pig's fly. I don't know, something like that. Now I'm just getting wacky. Must be getting late. But I do appreciate all that, because that pushes my boundaries, changes my perspective, makes me think outside of the box. Now we're gonna grab some really dark, add some what would be normally a small little tree here. We're not going to grab any blues, because this is a kind of a hidden tree here. Bring this down here. This is a little bit more like a tree that's a little bit closer to you. Maybe a little more black. Another reason why we kind of left some of these a little bit lighter, because we were going to put some foreground trees in here, and we wanted to make sure that we had a little bit variance in depth and color there. Just adding some foreground foliage on some of these, and it picks up a little bit because you have the blue here kind of mixed in. The bottom piece. Alright, so we're going to make one a little bit taller here. Cool. I like it, I like it, I like it. Again, these are going to be pretty thick, so you don't want a whole lot shining through on these. Cool. How we doing? Hey, we still got 30 folks hanging out, just watching. Hopefully you didn't lose power, and that's the only reason you got, instead of watching TV, you're watching me. Hey, it's okay. It's cool. I dig it. I appreciate every viewer that checks me out, gives me comments, or you know, questions they have, or thoughts or ideas. I mean, yeah, great. It's great to sell a piece and feel good about it. But honestly, the thing that fills my cup is hearing inspirational stories from you guys that. You know, hey, you know what? I found a box of paints in my closet. I haven't painted in years, and you know, I watched one of your videos and thought, hey, you know what? That'd be kind of fun. I want to try that, and then go and doing it, and then let me know about it. And I'm just like, man, that is so cool. I'm so honored and excited when I hear, you know, that somebody picked up a paintbrush because they saw one of my videos, and they're inspired to draw or to paint or color. Or, you know, I've seen some pretty amazing pieces done with pencils and colored pens and you name it, you know, so fills my cup, guys. I thank each and every one of you guys for your amazing inspirational stories, and keep them coming, you know, because if we can share our stories with each other, and that helps somebody else, you know, that maybe has a common common issue that they need help with, and we can connect each other and help with each other. I mean, that's a great thing. It's really awesome when you can do that. So, all right, so we have a couple layers there. We don't have much going on here, so we're just going to kind of fill this in, you know, as we would, as if it's just kind of the ground, some bushes and stuff in front. Oh, we don't want to hit our metal piece of, so just some texture, maybe a little blue in there, just so it doesn't look flat, like you painted over it with just a flat paintbrush. So we're just adding some color, some texture, some blues. I just tapped a little bit of the midnight blue in there, just to add some, maybe these are ferns, you know, who knows. It's kind of neat. You just don't want to leave it flat, that's all. So neat, I like it. Add a couple more blues in there. You know what? Just steal a hint of white. See what happens. So we got some blue. I tapped just a hair of white, and this will kind of give us a little fern look. So, you know, it's just a figuring out kind of what you want to do with this, what textures you want. You know, it's not, we don't want solid white down here. We don't want solid black. So that gives us a little bit of texture, like, you know, there was some grasses or something along the lines there. So now, with that being said, we're gonna just hint just a hair. I want you guys to see that, just a little bit on the end of that, not the whole length of it. I don't even like that much being on it, honestly. So just a little skiff of white, and we're gonna come in here and we're gonna hit some of these branches and highlight some of these, just a little. I'm talking like feather through some of these. You don't want it in the same spot every time either, so. And it's still wet, so you can, if you do too much, you can kind of blend, you know, a little bit. So now we're gonna kind of go in. Don't want super highlighted spots, so I would just dab a little bit on there, kind of move it around just a hair. Obviously it's going to be a little brighter the closer we get to the moon, so some of these don't forget, if you go past the moon, now the highlights are going to be on this side, so don't forget, you got to switch it up a little bit if you go past your highlight. Just remember. Okay, cool. I'm digging this. First time I've done this too, guys, just by the way. Highlighting on pine trees. Honestly, this is kind of similar to the very first piece I ever did when I was watching our good friend Bob Ross, rest in I did some pine trees, and I can tell you they did not look like these. And that is why I tell anybody that writes me for advice, try and try and try and try and practice, because you will get better, you will improve, you will try new techniques, and don't give up. Try and try and try. Man, I am digging this music. This is just like super zen out. I don't know what you guys, but man, this music is like perfect. Watch, I'll get some commercial come on, and then it'll be wacky after that, and we won't like it, but. So, what do you guys think? Looking pretty cool. Everybody see that? So we got some foreground trees, nice and dark. Can't really see those. I would not highlight these. You can.
You're listening to
How did I know that like we're gonna get a commercial? I mean, we can throw a little, white highlights in some of these, I suppose, but I think it'll get kind of wacky. It'll kind of blend a little bit. Yeah, These are really supposed to be meant to be. They're really meant to be foreground shadows, more or less. But I guess if they're tall enough, you would see some highlight, I guess. So we'll try it.
Visit Amazon.com/Stone and Beam to learn more. Stone and Beam, life well furnished.
So we don't want these as bright as the ones in the background, because those ones are higher up and right, closer to the moon. So I really don't like those at all. So we can kind of cover it up with black. That's a good thing about that. I'm just going to cover it up. Some black, some blue, throw some blue lights in there. Don't like it? Change your perspective, right? Hey, man, I'm just on this kick tonight with changing your perspective, but it is so true, guys. I mean, I just showed that with like, oh, I didn't like that, so guess what? I could leave it and we just complain about it, be like, no, I don't like it, or I go and change it. You have the tools to do it, you have the ability to do it, Shouldn't be a whole lot holding you back. Now, obviously, if you have, some things that are out of your control and you can't do anything about it, that's one thing. But if you can change your routine or change your perspective on something, it will change your life for the better. And I challenge you guys to do that starting now. You don't like how sluggish you feel, go to bed early, or stop drinking caffeine and start drinking water, or work out more or something, I mean, people that say that they're sad or, I get that, but there's also something you can do about accepting it or doing something about it, and doing something about it definitely makes you feel better about yourself, even if you fall short. And first couple times, try something different. So there we are, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to put my P-dub on this, call this one good. So we need to get, I'm going to do some white, some blue on this one. Sounds good. Some light blue. And again, I will get to questions, thoughts, concerns, answers of all that sorts of whatnot here in a second. As soon as I get done with this and upload it, I will get to all your questions and thoughts about tonight's video, about anything that's going on with your life, inspirational stories we want to talk about, things that have changed your life. Let's do it. Let's talk about it. Anything I can do to help. Cool. I like it. Let's dot this. Call this one good. What do you guys think? So we got a nice highlighted kind of northern lights. We threw the moon in there. Didn't need to, but it was just something different. So we wanted to try it out. And I like it. Spackled the sky with our toothbrush. And we got some highlighted trees in the background. Some dark trees in the foreground. Some fern, little blue. I don't know if you can get a close up on that and see that there is some blue highlights throughout that. And some water kind of broke that up a little bit. So we down to about 15 folks. Appreciate you guys tonight. I was excited about tonight. It's Saturday night. I know we've been cooped up all day. The weather's junk outside, but I love this piece. I love the first one we did. Just definitely has that moody nighttime sky feel to it. I appreciate you guys hanging out. I love you all. Stay positive. Treat each other with respect. And I will get to your questions and everything here in a minute. So thank you. God bless. Have a wonderful weekend. Be safe on the roads out there. Be respectful of each other. I love you guys. Take care.